course, the drama surrounding Brad Keselowski and Carl Edwards, it continues 2 weeks later. And what better place to resume our season after a week off than right here at the high drama of Bristol Motor Speedway. Let's take a look at the final laps of that Atlanta race.
3 laps to go in the Cobalt Tools 500.
Just watch him here. He's going to do something stupid. Just make sure he doesn't. Just use your head. Looking back inside. Do what you have to do here, man. You know what he's going to do. Nice and smooth.
Trouble on the front stretch. A car has slammed the wall.
And that is the machine of Brad Keselowski.
And that car got up on its roof. That was a hard crash there. The big-time crash there for Brad Keselowski.
Hey, did you see that? Yeah, he just wrecked him, didn't he?
10-4 just knocked him sideways right here in the middle of the straightaway.
You okay, buddy? Talk to me now. I don't know if I'm okay.
You know what? I think this was Carl Edwards' payback for what happened earlier in this race. He came up behind Brad Keselowski and turned him around.
That car got airborne, came down on its roof.
Brad didn't do anything to him at the beginning of the race. He turned down across Brad's nose on. Did I just fly? Yeah, you just flew, buddy. You out of the car yet? Let me know if it gets out. He's out, bud. All right, good. Have they gotten him out yet? Yeah, they showed him on TV walking down the bank or walking to the ambulance. So he was walking somewhere. He looked okay.
Carl Edwards has been told, take your car back to the garage, put it on the truck, and go home. Edwards was running around 155 laps down when he got together with Brad Keselowski. And again, I think Carl Edwards meant to pay back Brad Keselowski. He did not, however, mean to flip him over. I thought he might try to spin him out, slide him through the grass, and say, okay, now we're even.
And I think we needed a week off to let the dust kind of settle. And a lot of people had opinions of what was going to happen with the penalties for Carl Edwards. Well, NASCAR came down with the penalties. There was no penalty. There was no fine. There was no points taken away like we had originally thought. There was, however, 3 weeks probation, which a lot of people had opinions on whether that was a strong enough penalty for Carl Edwards. Carl came on trackside this weekend and addressed the situation.
Here's the way it goes. I listen to all these people talk, and all these people run their mouths and everything. Carl Edwards, me, I'm a really simple person. I try to do the best I can, but I will not be walked over, and I will stand up for myself. But I didn't expect that to get as big as it got. By the time I got to turn 2, all I cared about was whether or not he got out of that race car.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, you just can't let those things keep going. And I'm glad NASCAR looked at the intent of what happened and separated that from the result.
And Carl Edwards said he met with his probation officer, that being Mike Helton, on Saturday morning, along with Brad Keselowski. All parties involved went to the NASCAR hauler Saturday morning for that meeting, and pretty much everybody had the same sentiment. We want to put this behind us. Atlanta's behind us, moving forward to Bristol, and both Carl and Brad came out with sad, long faces, but kind of joked around. You saw Carl just gave Brad a light punch after that meeting, but of course it's going to continue on to Bristol. We can say it's water under the bridge, but really, we know it's going to be a story, Johnny, we're going to continue to follow throughout the whole season, really.
Wendy, thanks a lot. On-track rivalries exist, and they're good for the sport at times. But Kyle Petty, yes or no? Does the punishment fit the crime here?
No, I'm not backing down from what I said last time. He should have been sat home and sat in a car. He should be sitting in Columbia, Missouri right now watching this race on TV. That's my opinion. I'm sorry. I don't give a rat's rear end what y'all say. Okay? I don't give a rat's rear end what you say. What I'm telling you is there was intent here. This was not for position. This was he sat in the garage area for 150 laps and comes out, and forget the wreck. Forget what happened there. He intentionally wrecked this guy and not for position. When we see some of the things that have happened in the past in the sport with Earnhardt, Rusty, myself, other people who have driven, it's always been for position. This was revenge, and there's no place in NASCAR for the competitors to take revenge on another competitor. I don't care.
My viewpoint is this. Say what you will. Talk all you want. The debate is great. It's good for the sport. And I stand on what I said. In NASCAR Victory Lane, I said, look, the only thing Carl did wrong is he wore white gloves, which you know, really showed him run into him. And if he was going to do it, he should have done it on the backstretch. I mean, you know, hey, look, I mean, we're in a situation right now where NASCAR can't back down. It was Brian France that said, hey, we're going to take the gloves off the boys. Well, that would have showed his hands still.
Yeah, but I'm going to argue that point. That's not taking the gloves off. Taking the gloves off is what Kevin Harvick did to Joey Logano in the nationwide race yesterday. A little bump and run, a little rubbing, a little grinding, a little stuff like that. That's taking the gloves off. I'm 100% behind that. 100% behind that. But let me say this. If I just go out here and run 4 laps and then sit in the garage area and say, I'm going to go take Kenny Wallace's butt out. I'm going to wait until he gets up there, but I'm going to go take Kenny's butt out. That's wrong, and that's what Carl did, or what it looks like Carl did. I'm not in Carl's mind. I'm a big fan of Carl's. Now, let's be honest, but this was a stupid mistake, and I don't care. Somebody should have paid more than a 3-race probation.
So you're saying that was premeditated murder?
Of a race car.
Not murder.
Hey,
we didn't go all the way to murder.
Of a race car.
There were some people saying he was trying to commit murder, which is a joke, okay? Well, that got a little heavy. But here's what I have to say to end this whole situation. Now, the 2 people that were involved in the wreck, they're not even in this story anymore. Stay tuned later on. We'll tell you another driver that wants to be involved in it, and they're calling each other names back and forth. It's getting out of hand.
It is. Well, let's face it, this is not the witness protection program. NASCAR, you want to get known no matter what you're known for. The idea is to get recognized on the racetrack.